All right, Dave, thank you. Now, we have some breaking news tonight in the war with Iran. President Trump pulling back on threats against the Middle East after agreeing to a temporary ceasefire and a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. In a post made to Truth Social about half an hour ago, the president said, in part, quote, "We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the U.S. and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and also consummated." Now, details of that deal have not been made public. The president had previously imposed an 8 p.m. deadline tonight for Iran to make a deal and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. If a deal was not met, the president said the U.S. would strike Iran's power plants and other civilian infrastructure. Images out of Iran show people forming a human chain near power plants and bridges ahead of the deadline. The president has set and changed other deadlines during the war with Iran. The war, meantime, continuing to impact gas prices, with oil topping out at more than $116 a barrel, more than double what it was in January. A gallon of gas now averaging $4.15 in Miami-Dade, $4.22 in Broward. Meantime, in Wall Street, the Dow closed down slightly today, about 84 points, after a late rally amid the president's deadline. And the ceasefire, welcome news for South Florida's Iranian community. CBS News Miami's Abby Dodge is your reporter live in our newsroom tonight. And Abby, you talked to someone who has family in the region, right?
I did, Jim. Sandra Majdi was born in Iran and she still has family in the country. She told me earlier this afternoon President Trump would not cause widespread harm to the Iranian people. President Trump posted on social media early this morning saying a whole civilization will die tonight, adding that he doesn't want it to happen, but it probably would. Some members of Congress stood in fierce opposition, one congressman calling it a war crime. Trump's decision comes with the help of negotiators out of Pakistan. The president wants Iran to agree to a complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. In Iran this afternoon, people formed a human chain near power plants and bridges ahead of that deadline. Sandra Majdi pointed to the links that the U.S. went to recover a U.S. service member earlier this week to demonstrate the value that the Trump administration puts on human life. She strongly believes the president's comments were used to get to this point in the negotiating process.
I believe this president has just enough the courage that he's had, and same as Iranians inside Iran and the diaspora, that he has a real plan of action. And I don't think he's going to wipe out a civilization. I think it's another bluff of Trump. We all know that he uses a lot of these tactics.
In a social media post less than a half hour ago, the president said this long-term problem is close to resolution. Abby Dodge, CBS News, Miami.
We shall see, of course. Abby, thank you very much. And, of course, stick with CBS News Miami for all the latest developments on the war. We will bring you live updates on air and online at cbsmiami.com.